Ya can open our Bibles. You want to open your Bibles with me, amado Señor, to the book of Jeremiah, in chapter 24. Amado, ya can be seated. Pueden tomar su asiento, amado Señor. Okay, we'll read the whole chapter. Jeremiah 24, verse 1. The Lord showed me, and behold, 2 baskets of figs were set before the temple of the Lord, after Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had carried away captive Jeconiah, the son of Joachim, king of Judah, and the princes of Judah, with their carpenters and smiths from Jerusalem, and had brought them to Babylon. You know, Nebuchadnezzar is very significant in history, because he represented the king of Babylon. And of course, he took the Jews captive, and I praise God. And the Jews were captive for many years, until the king of Persia, Cyrus, the great king, brought them back to their land. Oh, praise God. This is significant among us, because the king represents, the king of Babylon represents, or is a foreshadow of a real king of Babylon, which is Satan, the king of confusion, which will take captive anybody and among that's not believing in God's word, and among us, praise God, they're going to be fooled when they see the false Jesus show up in heaven. Verse 2. They say, one basket had very good figs, one like the figs that are first ripe. The other basket had very naughty figs, which could not be eaten. They were so bad. The figs represent those among us, the Jews. The tribe of Judah, okay? There was a good figs, which is the Smyrna, the good Jews, and there were the bad Jews. In other words, the sons of Cain, the Canaanites that we've been studying for a long time. In other words, they were all in the same land, okay? Praise God. Then said, or they were going to be brought to the same land. Then said the Lord unto me, what seest thou, Jeremiah? And I said, a fig, the good figs, very good. And also the evil, the sons of Satan, the Canaanites, very evil, that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. Verse 4. Again the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, thus said the Lord, the God of Israel, like these good figs, so will I acknowledge them that are carried away captive of Judah, whom I have sent out of this place unto the land of the Chaldeans for their good. Verse 6. For I will set my eyes upon them for good, and I will bring them again to this land, and I will build them, and not pull them out, and not pull them down, and I will plant them, and not pluck them. And as King Cyrus, he brought back the Jews back to their land. And Señor. But they lived in the land, the Mohammedan power came in, the Arabs, and they overtook Jerusalem. And the Jews, they were stranded everywhere. But in 1948, after World War II, the United Nations, the Security Council were formed, and after the United Nations was formed, and the United States, they brought back, the Jews back to their land, and gave the title Israel. For the first time in history, they were out of the land for more than 1,000 years. And they were brought back since 1948. Okay? So the year 1948 is very significant. Because, we're going to study why it's so important, 1948. Because we're going to add 70 years to that 1948. And what is 1948 plus 70 years? And that is the year 2018, they say, verse 7, and I will give, and I'm not preaching anything that's crazy, everybody, the rapture people, the people who don't believe in the rapture, the people that believe in the rapture, all of them agree on this study, okay? So don't think I'm teaching you something that's totally off or extreme. They're able teaching something very crazy again. No. And everybody, all the scholars from all the denominations preach this. Mostly all, okay? Evangelical pastors, okay? Okay, hermanos, dice en verse 6, for I will set mine eyes upon them for good, and I will bring them again to this land, 1948. And I will build them and not pull them out, not pull them down. I will plant them and not pluck them out. So they're there. The good and the bad. They're mixed. Remember, the root Jews, the real full-blooded Jews, and they got mixed with the Babylonians. But there were some good Jews, and they didn't get mixed. And they escaped. The daughters of Zedekiah, and formed the Christian nation that we have today, which is Britain, United States, Germany, and basically those Christian nations, okay? That's where the true tribe of Judah scattered at. Okay, that's another study for a different time. Verse 7, and I will give them a heart to know me, and I am the Lord, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God, for they shall return unto me with their whole hearts. And as the evil figs, which cannot be eaten, they are so evil. In other words, those Jews that call themselves Jews, he said, surely, thus said the Lord, so will I give Zedekiah the king of Judah, and his princes and residue of Jerusalem, that remain in the land, and them that dwell in the land of Egypt. And I will deliver them to be removed into the kingdoms of the earth for their hurt, to be reproached unto a proverb, a taunt, and a curse in all places where I shall drive them. And I will send them sword and famine and pestilence among them till they be consumed from off the land that I gave unto them and to their fathers. Now let's go to the book of Amos in chapter 8. Amos chapter 8. Hermano, libro de Amos, capítulo 8, okay? Please bear with me today about listening, because I got caught up. I was preparing myself real bad, and bringing some other documentations until the year 2018 about that. I didn't take the notes that I was supposed to, but como quiera, we'll see how it comes out. Amos chapter 8, verse 1. Thus hath the Lord God showed unto me, behold, a basket of summer fruit. There it is. Summer fruit. What did Jesus say? Learn the parable of the fig tree. This is it. Praise God. When it is yet tender, when it is summer, when it is yet tender, know that summer is nigh at the gates. Praise God. The summer fruits, praise God. And we're supposed to give Jesus the summer fruit. Don't give it to Satan, like it's written there in Isaiah chapter 28, verse 2 to 4. Okay, verse 2. And he said, Amos, what's here though? And I said, a basket of summer fruit. Remember that summer fruit? The good figs and the bad figs? In other words, living in Jerusalem, living where they're at right now, like we read there in Jeremiah 24. That summer fruit is in Jerusalem right now. The good figs and the bad figs are there since 1948. Then said the Lord unto me, look at this verse, the end is come upon my people of Israel. I will not again pass by them anymore. The word end means hates in Hebrew, which is the word extremity, the end. In other words, this is it. Once you see the Jews live in their land, now that means we're living in the end times. So since 1948, believe it or not, we've been living in the end times. Okay? Since 1948. This is the generation that many pastors from all denominations say this is the final generation, the generation of the fig tree. Okay? Praise God. Why? Because of this verse. I will not pass again with them anymore. This is it. No more. Okay, since we saw an eclipse in the year 2017, right? That we haven't seen in hundreds and hundreds of years. The American eclipse. And let's keep on reading here. In verse 3 said, the songs of the temple shall be howlings in that day, says the Lord God. There shall be many dead bodies in every place. They shall cast them forth with silence. I believe this is talking spiritually among us. Don't be spiritually dead. Don't be spiritually dead. Study God's word. Verse 4. Hear this, O ye that swallow up the needy, even to make the poor of the land to fall. In other words, and among us teaching false doctrine. Verse 5, saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small, and the shekels great, and falsifying the balances by what? By deceit. In other words, by false doctrine. The famine of the end time is to hear God's word. I think it is here written in Amos 8:11. And verse 6, that we may buy the poor for silver, and the needy for a pair of shoes, or a pair of sandals. Yeah, and so the refuse all of the wheat. Okay? The Lord has sworn by the excellency of Jacob, surely I will never forget any of their works. Verse 8, shall not the land tremble at this, and every one mourn, dwell therein, and it shall rise up holy as a flood, and it shall be cast out downward as by the flood of Egypt? And we've seen earthquakes in Mount Big Time. I remember the one on December 26, 2004, and Mount was into that flooded, and Mount was, the people that were selling kids for sex slavery, right? The little kids. That's why God allowed the tsunami to hit Asia, and 1/3 of the population died. That was a sign, a foreshadow of what we're going to see. And then in 2017, we've seen many earthquakes. Since the year 2000, we've been seeing a bunch of earthquakes that have hit 8.0 and above. A lot of them. Just count. And in 2017, we saw 2 big ones in Mexico. And among those, 2 big ones. One, I think it was 7.7. The other one, I think a little bit bigger than that. And among those, praise God. Pero, it says here, but remember the flood of Egypt means the flood of confusion. Remember the end time flood of lies that will come out of Satan's mouth. Revelation chapter 12, verse 14 and 15, verse 9. And it shall come to pass that in that day, says the Lord God, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon. And remember what time this eclipse that we saw in 2017, what time it went down? It went down at noon. Praise God. And he said, and I will darken the earth in the clear day. So he showed us that eclipse, that way we can read about the eclipse, and what does God say about the eclipse, and what when we see the word eclipse there, what's around? What are we supposed to learn? Verse 10, and I will turn your feast into mourning, your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth. Why? Because a lot of scripture, a lot of songs that are sang are based on the rapture. Something that's false. I'm going to turn your rapture songs into something sad. Because you're going to see that first Jesus is going to show up is Satan. And all this time, you were worshiping Satan instead of the real Jesus. And you're going to cry and lament because you lose your first son, which is Jesus. You lost your first Jesus, and you started sleeping around with a different husband. And you accepted another kid named Satan instead of Jesus. He said, and baldness upon every head, and I will make it as the mourning of an only son. See? They lost the true son, Jesus. And the end thereof is bitter day. Behold, the days come, says the Lord God. I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread. And I was looking up in the famines in 2017. Wow. And maybe I was thinking about bringing a message called "What You Missed While You Were Asleep During 2017." Oh, praise God. Because I was studying all the events of 2017. That's what took me all day. And I couldn't bring the documentation because I didn't finish. Pero I read a lot of plagues, a lot of pestilences, a lot of famines. And in 2017 that occurred. That a lot of people don't even know that happened. Praise God. Because the news only reports what they want to report. Okay? We live in a time when the news, they just report whatever is good for them. Pero dice, morning about, dice, behold, in the days comes, says the Lord God, I will send a famine. Not the famines that we've been seeing. Not a famine of bread, nor thirst, nor water. but a hearing the words of the Lord. Why is there a famine? Because the word of God is not being preached. Basilio brought to attention the other day too, when he was telling me, hey, the Bible doesn't say that many will believe the truth. The Bible says that many will believe the false. That's true. Many are going to be deceived. It doesn't say everybody's going to believe the truth. No. And among a lot of people are going to be believing lies. Because narrow is the gate. And that leads into eternal life. And wide is the one that goes into perdition. Many follow that road. And many will be deceived. In other words, like Basilio told me, it's not about being popular. Whatever is the truth, it's not popular. The truth is not popular. And I told Basilio, yeah, you're right. The truth is not popular. Praise God. Did you know that? So if you're believing something that's very popular, you better check what you're believing. Because among those, the truth is not popular. Praise God. Okay? All right. Well, let's go to the book of let's study more on the parable of the fig tree. I got off there a little bit, but I had to mention the year 2017 also, right? Matthew 24. Let's go to the book of Matthew and chapter 24. Let's look at verse 32. It says, now learn a parable of the fig tree. It doesn't say that maybe you should learn it, that maybe you should think about learning it. No, it says learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth out forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh. And Mom goes, this, like I told you, this is not something crazy. And Mom, something that, April, no. And Mom goes, a lot of people know that, that people living, that the Jews living in Jerusalem is something significant, very important. Okay? And the fig trees represent the Jews, and guess what? They're in Jerusalem. The good and the bad. So likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. You're going to what? See these things. From where? From the earth? Or from over there hidden somewhere, the rapture? No. You're going to be here, you're going to see these things. Okay? And so likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. So a generation is made up of 40 years. That's why a lot of people, in 1988, you can look it up, a lot of people are looking for the coming of the Lord in 1988. And the same thing happened in 2012, but I can see because of the Mayans. I guess they didn't read the prophecy right of the Mayans, right? Because the Mayans never said the world was going to end in 2012. It's just the calendar ended in 2012. And then the same thing, praise God, and throughout the whole year, everybody's been crying wolf. But one day, they're going to cry wolf, and it's going to be for real. And a lot of people are not the same thing as 2012, 2018 passed away, nothing happened. Praise God, nothing happened. But that wolf is coming, and that's Satan. Praise God. It's made up of 40 years, generation of 40 years. Nothing happened in 1988, but we went through a benchmark in 1988. Well, the next one is 70 years. The next generation is 70 years, based on Psalms 90 and verse 10. Based on Psalm 90 and verse 10, which is what? 1948 plus 70 years is what? 1948 plus 70 is what year? 70? What's 48 plus 70? What's 1948 plus 70? 2018. So well, there's 3 generations. There's the 40-year generation. That didn't happen. There's a 70-year generation, which is 2018. And there's the 120-year generation. Praise God. Hermanos, a lot of things are going on. A lot of things are happening before our eyes. Praise God. Is Matthew 24 the only one that mentions about 1948 plus 70 years and Mount equals 2018? Or maybe we should look out for 2018? No. Let's go to the book of Daniel, chapter 12. The book of Daniel in chapter 12. Daniel capítulo 2. Let's go to the book of Daniel chapter 12. And I hope everybody's got their phone today, because we're going to use the calculator, okay? Right now, I'm pretty sure everybody's got their phone, and then we can use it to use the calculator. Now, praise God. We're going to do some calculations here. Daniel 12. Praise God. Daniel chapter 12. Let's go to verse 5. Then I, Daniel, looked, and behold, there stood other 2 and 1 on the other side of the bank of the river, the other on the side of the bank of the river. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? In other words, when is the end going to come? How long is it going to be? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of this river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto the heaven, and swore by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time, that's 1 year. Times means 2 years. 1 plus 2 is what? What's 1 plus 2? 3. 3, right? And a half. So that's 3.5 years, right? 1 plus 2 is what? 3. And then add a half, that's 3.5 years. 42 months. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. Everything's going to be finished. Verse 8. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? Therefore, he wants to learn when is going to be the end. And he said, go that way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and still to the time of the end. Verse 10, many shall be purified, many white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Verse 11, and from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away. When was the daily sacrifice taken away? In other words, when did people not have to kill animals for forgiveness? When? When Jesus died on the cross, you know? Praise God, okay? Let's put, what does Google say? Well, Google says Jesus died at 33 years old. Okay, well, let's put 33 AD, okay? 33 AD. And from the time that the day sacrifice shall be taken away, that's 33 AD, when Jesus died on the cross, based on Google and whatever, that person. The abomination that maketh desolate shall set up, there shall be 1,290 days. So, when was the abomination of desolation set up? In 1948. Because that is when the Jews went to the land. And so, since the Jews are in the land, now it's set up. Jerusalem is set up to receive the false Messiah. So, it's telling us that from the year 33 AD, all the way to 1948 will be 1,290 Daniel days. So you got to convert the Daniel days, hermano Señor, okay? Got to convert the Daniel days. So here's how you do it. You go. Let's go to your calculator. El calculator, hermano Señor, aquí tengo mi calculator right here. Okay? Go up. First of all, we got what's the difference between 33 and 1948? So you go 1948 minus 33 is what? 1915, right? So from the 1948 from 33 AD to 1948 is 1,115 of our days. But he's telling us Daniel days will be what? 1,290 days. So 1915, our day equals 1,290 Daniel days. So there is your equation, right? Praise God. So the next thing we want to do is 1915 divide by 1290, 1,290, okay? So now you divide 1290. And that will be 1.48. In other words, one day of our days equals 1.48 Daniel days. So now we know the what do you call it? The converted number, which is 1.48. That's what we're going to use. So from 19, hermano Señor, okay, so now we know the Daniel days, okay? Praise God. Okay, now look at verse 12. Blessed is he that waited and cometh to the 1,305 days. Then I praise God. So, okay. So now, hermano Señor, we got to go to 1335. So now we got to go to 1335, 1,335, 1,335 minus the 1290 is what? Equals 45 days. Right? That's our day. Now we got to convert it into Daniel days. And what was that conversion number? 1.48. So you times it times 1.48 equals what? What's 45 times 1.48? Did anybody use their calculator?
666.
666. ¿Verdad que sí? 66.6. Wow, right? It's right there, 66.6. Okay. Now we go to 1948, which is the last year you mentioned, plus 66.6 years. Plus equals the year 2014 and a half. Okay? That's something happened in the year 2014 and a half. A lot of things happened, okay? Let me mention a few. We saw the 4 blood moons start, April 15 and October the 8th, 2014, and then moved on, We had an iPhone, an Apple iPhone with an app, the Siri Apple phone, which said July the 27th, 2014 will be the opening gate of Hades. You would ask it, what's going to happen? You ask the voice, the Apple, in 2014, you would ask it, the Series phone, the Series Apple phone, you would ask it, what's going to happen in July 27, 2014, and it would say, opening the gate of Hades. Wow. Praise God. That is also the year of ISIS. That happened, that's when it started, that's when it rose up. ISIS rose up in 2014. And now, hermano Señor, now it's basically obliterated in 3.5 years. Okay? And we saw Russia in the Ukraine, the crisis. And I praise God. We saw Ebola. Remember Ebola? Praise God. So we saw a lot of signs in 2014 and a half. Now get 2014 and a half, and add the 3 years and a half that we read earlier. So 10, so now we add plus 3.5, equals the year 2018. The year 2018. So Matthew tells us that this generation, since 1948 and on, is not going to pass. What brings us to the year 2018? Daniel brings us to the year 2018 as well. Pero dice, blessed is the man. Blessed is he that watches and cometh to the 1,305 days. So it's still not telling us that's when the world's going to end. But it's telling us that blessed is the man that comes into that year. Okay, now let's talk about 2017 a little bit, okay? Well, let's talk a little bit about 2017. Okay? Praise God. It's the Donald Trump. Praise God. Donald Trump becomes president. Let's go to Daniel 11. Let's go to Daniel 11. I'm going to go sing, okay? Let's go to verse 15. Daniel 11, verse 15. So the king of the north shall come and cast up a mount, take the most fenced cities, and the arms of the south shall not withstand, neither his chosen people, neither shall there be any strength to withstand. That reminds me of 2008, 2003, when George Bush invaded Iraq, without UN approval. And the chosen people remind me of Iraq's elite, the Republican Guard that Saddam Hussein had. Verse 16, but he that cometh against him shall do according to his own will, meaning that he will be the superpower of the superpowers. And who's the end-time superpower right now? Who is the superpower of all superpowers? United States. Praise God. And whoever is the leader of the United States represents the notable horn. Okay? The king of the superpower. These verse 16, but he that cometh shall do according to his will, and none shall stand before him. And nobody stopped George Bush, not even the United Nations. How about right now? And was the United Nations voted against the United States not to name Jerusalem as the capital. Who cares? Who cares? United Nations it's not illegitimate. United States is the one that bosses everybody around. United States is the main one. You think United States is going to listen to UN? No. Did it listen when they invaded Iraq? No. It's not going to. Did it listen right now when they say not to invade North Korea? Or Iran? You think the United States will listen to your United Nations? United Nations is obsolete, hermanos señores. It's illegitimate. Now the main superpower is the United States. They're going to do whatever they want. The United States is going to do whatever they want. Okay? It doesn't matter. We're going to veto. Whatever the United Nations passes, we're going to veto it. And nothing's going to be done. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? The United States is the one that's controlled. Okay, verse 17, he said. Well, verse 16. He said, and none shall stand before him. He shall stand up in the glorious land, which by his hand shall be consumed. 2002, George Bush came up with a two-state solution. The Palestinian state, okay? And ever since then, we've been trying to negotiate this two-state solution. Even Obama, and now even Trump. Trying to look for this plan, this peace plan that's supposed to come in Jerusalem. The number one thing was to what? To recognize Israel to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Pero the plan of the two-state solution is to divide Jerusalem. The east side goes to the Palestinians, the west side goes to Israel. But right now, since Israel won the 1967 war, it belongs to Israel. Jerusalem belongs to Israel. So now it's up to Israel if they want to negotiate to give half of the land to Israel. Look at what point we are right now, the year 2018. You get that? Look at this, verse 16. Let's put the year 2002 and 2003 for the year 15, for the verse 15 and 16. Verse 17 says, he shall also set his face to enter the street of his whole kingdom, and upright ones with him. The word upright means to bring a plan that is equitable between two parties. What plan was that? The two-state solution. With thus shall he do, and he shall give him his daughter, a woman corrupting her. The daughter means democracy. George Bush wanted to spread democracy everywhere he went. But what happened? Corrupted. Democracy was corrupted. The Iraqi people, left the Sunnis and the Shiites, there was division between both, the Kurds. Praise God, it just became chaos. And because of that chaos came ISIS. So it wasn't true democracy, not even in Afghanistan. Not even in Palestine. So it became corrupted, and they corrupted democracy. But she shall not stand on his side, neither be for him. See? It's not working out for us because they're electing a bunch of terrorists that hate us. What happened in Palestine? They elected Hamas. Hamas is unfriendly to the United States. Verse 18. After this shall he turn his face unto the owl. The owl means the land that are the most valuable. And what the word owls means the desirous dry lands. What are the desires dry lands? Deserts. What are the desires dry deserts? Iraq, Iran. What did George Bush say in 2003 that were the axis of evil, or 2002? What did he say? Iraq, we can mark that right down. It's gone down. What did he say the other one was? North Korea. Well, guess what? Well, guess what they're saying? Well, that's going to happen in February 2018. We're going to attack North Korea. And which other one that George Bush mentioned? Iran. Are we friends with Iran right now? We're threatening war with Iran, and I can see the axis of evil. No wonder when North Korea heard, hey, we're on the list, we better arm ourselves. If you know somebody's going to attack you, what are you going to do? If you know somebody wants to bring you down, what are you going to do? You're going to go buy the biggest gun that you can have. So that's what exactly North Korea did. They had to get, hey, the United States is going to invade us. We're going to have to prevent that. So what they do, get the biggest gun there is on the planet, nuclear bombs. So that's what made them get the nuclear bombs, because George Bush was over here saying, we're going to invade Iran. We just took down Iraq. Now we're going to get Iran and next North Korea. So what do? They have to arm themselves. So they do this out of desperation. That's why, because George Bush said, we're going to take these 3 countries down. So look what happened in Libya. Gaddafi will kill terrorists. But we didn't like him there, so we took him out. Now Libya is full of terrorism. Okay, praise God. Well, okay, enough of that. Praise God. So after this shall he turn his face to the desired dry land, shall take many, but a prince of his own behalf shall cause the reproach offered by him to cease. Without his own reproach, he shall cause it to turn upon him. So who was elected after George Bush? And why did he win? Obama, right? Why did Obama win? What was he saying? Oh, we're going to what? Take the troops out of Afghanistan. We're going to take the troops out of Iraq. And everybody, that's what we need. We need the troops to come back to our land. We come back to the United States. We hate George Bush, So everybody voted for Obama because Obama was saying we're gonna bring the troops back. Well, he did that so people could vote for him. But guess what happened in the midterms? After 4 years, he sent people back to Afghanistan and back to Iraq. You remember the surge? And one was no, okay? Well, he got voted. He followed the same policy, same policy George Bush. It didn't change. Obama did the same thing. También we're looking for the two-state solution. And who comes after Obama? Okay, what did Obama do? What was so famous about Obama? Look at verse 20. Verse 19, there shall he turn his face toward the fort of his own land, but he shall stumble and fall, and none shall be found. And George Bush was hid for a long time. and nobody can find them. To right now that Trump is coming out, now George Bush is coming out to criticize Trump. But look at verse 20. Who came after Obama? Who came after George Bush? Obama. Look at verse 20. Then shall he stand up in his estate, a raiser of taxes. What did Obama do? What was he famous for? Do you remember Obamacare? What did Obamacare do? It was the highest raising of taxes in history. You don't believe me? I'll show you a letter from the IRS that was sent to me saying that I have to pay $2,500 of taxes on February next year because of Obamacare. And thank God they say we repealed it, but we still got to pay for the year 2017. Pero that was the highest raising of taxes. They raised taxes not only, it raises taxes everywhere. Didn't you notice your bills? How they just went skyrocket? Didn't Obama say that? He said, you elect me, I'm going to skyrocket your bills. Your electric bill is going to go up. Look it up on YouTube. Out of his own mouth, he was saying that he was going to raise the taxes. Raise the taxes of the rich. And who's going to pay for the poor? I'm paying for the poor. Those $2,500 are supposed to go to people to get Obamacare. And I tried to get Obamacare with a salary of $800 a month. And guess what? They said I was making too much money to get Obamacare. $800 a month for the whole household. They said that I was making too much money to get Obamacare. I applied so many times. And with $800 a month, and they still say you're making too. And guess what? I'm paying for the poor. The poor's paying for the poor. That's crazy. I'm the one that have to pay taxes because I don't have insurance. Because of Obamacare. Praise God. He said, but the good thing is, but within a few days he shall be destroyed. It's going to be gone. Now, what did Trump do? He totally undid everything Obama did. Even the transgender thing that Obama tried to pass, all these things Trump was there, took off all that. He neither in battle nor in anger. His term, that in the Hebrew means that he's going to exhaust his term. And Obama exhausted his term. He lasted 8 years. People want him back, but based on the United States rules, you can't vote any former president back. Praise God. So I do it on a Clinton remote. If that could have been done. But verse 21 says, and in his day shall stand up a vile person. The word, who came up after Obama? Trump. What was 2017? What happened in 2017? January 20th. Donald Trump was inaugurated the United States president. Guess what happened next day? Millions of protesters. I think over 5.5 million protesters protested against Trump. And said he is not our president. You know what the word vile person means? It means the rejected person. To whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom. They said, he's not my president. We're not going to give him the honor of the kingdom. Clinton is our president. Hillary is our president, not Donald Trump. And what they do, they made up a lie about him having to do with Russia, and it turned out the other way around. It was Hillary the one that was colluding with the Russians to bring Trump down. And they made a big old lie, made a big old thing just to bring him down. But whoever got pushed there, and among us, is because God wants him there. And among us, okay? So you see, now we're at the year what? 2017. The verse 21, put the year 2017. Guess what comes after 20? Go to verse 22. The Antichrist shows up after that. It says, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, and then there's that colon, meaning that's the Antichrist, the next verse. But he shall come in peaceably and attain the kingdom by flattery. That's Satan, that's the Antichrist. And with the arms of the flood, that's his flood of lies, shall overflow from before him, and shall be broken, also the prince of the covenant. In other words, the prince that makes this peace covenant in Israel. And why did Donald Trump run for president? What was his number one thing that he was saying? Not the wall. The number one thing that he wanted to do was bring peace in Israel. That's his number one thing that he would say. He said, if everything else fails, this one thing I want to do is negotiate a peace plan in Israel. So Donald Trump, he is probably the best negotiator in the planet. So we saw Donald Trump, but after 2017 Donald Trump, what else did we see in 2017? Okay, Donald Trump announced that Israel is Jerusalem. It has to be the capital of Israel. Why? Because at the end, the focus will be in Jerusalem. That is where the Antichrist will arrive in Jerusalem. That is where the two witnesses will be killed in Jerusalem. That's where the abomination of desolation shall be set up in Jerusalem. Jerusalem has to be the center point. So Donald Trump did something significant. If you don't want to believe anything else, and take that in consideration that Donald Trump put Jerusalem in the center point. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to believe it or not, that's one thing you can't deny. Donald Trump put Jerusalem at the center point. Barely, this month, barely December. Then we see the hurricanes. Hurricanes that we've never seen before. Praise God. Praise God. Praise God. Hurricane Harvey. Remember Hurricane Harvey in Houston? What it did in Houston? Then the hurricane that hit Florida, praise God. And then the Puerto Rico, the Maria, Jose Maria. Remember Hurricane Maria took over Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, it just like the Costa Rica and all them, it just made it like a big old lawnmower. Destroyed every house in its way. Amazing hurricanes. And like never ever before. Record-breaking earthquakes. Record-breaking, hurricanes. Never seen before. Most powerful hurricane ever developed in the Atlantic Ocean. Praise God. And then we see fires in California, record-breaking fires. Are you awake? Are you still aware that there's record-breaking fires in California that I've never seen before? And I bet about 2 days ago they said it was the worst fire in history in California. This happened while you were asleep in 2017. It's time for you to wake up. And one goes in there, right? And still, a lot of things happen in Mount Wilson, okay? Praise God. Yes, I mentioned in the year 2018, but there's still a lot of things that have to happen. And I'm just going to mention one of them, okay? Because we don't have time to go through all of them. Because Mount Wilson, okay, let's go to the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Because even I took my kids, I don't know who I heard it from, but a lot of people even in school are saying that the year 2018, that's going to be the end of the world. But there's things that have to happen before the end of the world, okay? There's things that have to happen. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 1 tells us some of those things that have to happen first. Okay? Verse 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ, by our gathering together unto him. Dice, dice la palabra del Señor, right? Are gathering together unto Him, when we're going to gather to Him, right? Dice, that you be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Christ is at hand. Okay? It's going to be in a moment, at the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. Okay? Did you know, hermano, that the last Persian king that we had was in Iran, called the Shah of Iran, in 1979? And if we were to even consider that was the rise of the he-goat, and that would put Carter, the first notable horn of the he-goat, the superpower of the United States, trying to bring peace in Israel, because Carter was the first one to try to bring peace in Israel. The Camp David Accords, remember that? And then number two, who was after Carter? Praise God, I forgot who was after Carter. Who was after Carter? Ronald Reagan. Praise God, one of the most famous presidents ever in the United States. Reagan. And number three, who was after Reagan? Was in Bush. He only was 4 years. The father of George Bush. Number five. I'm over here. Carter, Reagan, Bush, and then Clinton. Number four. Number five, we have not Junior, but W. Bush. Praise God. Yeah, that 8 year. And then after Bush, we have what? Number six, Obama. And I wonder why Obama has to have the number six. Okay. And then number seven, we have what? Trump. The seventh, Trump. The seventh, Trump. Did y'all hear that? The seventh Trump, the last Trump. Okay. Wow, is that important? Praise God. And well, it could be a sign, it could be nothing, praise God, but these things have to happen, okay? Verse 2. He said that you be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled neither by the spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, that the day of Christ is at hand. Verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except, the day of the Lord is not going to come unless these things happen. A falling away first, primero la apostasía, right? The falling away, people are going to depart from the truth. We're seeing that. But look at the next one. The man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. In other words, the Antichrist has to be revealed. A lot of people right now are guessing. A lot of people are guessing, no, the Pope is the Antichrist. No, the Trump is the Antichrist. No, Obama is the Antichrist. He's going to come back. They're going to take down Trump, and they're going to bring Obama back. No, Señor. Those are the things flowing and trending on YouTube. I don't have Facebook because but I know what's trending on YouTube is that it's Pope or Trump or Obama. Those are the main three antichrists right now. They're guessing who it is. They don't know who it is. Satan is the Antichrist. He's the son of perdition. He's already sentenced to death. That's him. He's going to be revealed from where? From heaven. Saying that he's Jesus. And then what's the next thing he has to do? Who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is God, sitting in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. They're right there saying to us that there has to be a temple where Satan will be sitting. Right now there's not a temple of God. Right now there's not a temple in Jerusalem. That's why they're fighting and fighting. The Jews want to build this temple. And Moses said, okay, but it's not going to happen until the two witnesses are here. And listen, you know what? I'm going to go a little bit further. You know why? Because we're not going to have church Sunday morning, okay? We're not going to have church Sunday morning because it's going to be too cold. But we're going to have church Sunday evening, okay? So bear with me just this little minute, okay? Praise God. Okay. The temple has to be built because Satan's got to sit down in the temple of God. Who's going to build it? Well, the Jews are going to build it. No, listen, they might build it, but the Bible says holy temple. In other words, somebody's got to dedicate it. Somebody's got to be dedicated, and somebody's got to be qualified to dedicate to God in order for it to be called holy. A lot of people say, no, the Antichrist is going to build a temple. Like we were raised up to believe. We were raised up in a rapture believing church that said the temple was going to be built by the Antichrist. Well, it's not. It says sit down in the holy temple. If Satan creates or Satan builds something, it's not holy. So it has to be built by somebody qualified to dedicate the temple and make it holy, no matter who builds it. But here's the answer. Let me show you who builds the temple. Okay, praise God. Let's go to Matthew. Come on, go Señor, and we'll finish with this. Matthew 17 and verse 11, verse 10. And his disciples asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. Elias, the two witnesses have to be here. Elias is one of them. Elijah, Elias is one of them. They have to be there, be here. Satan's going to kill the two witnesses. The temple has to be built. Guess who built the temple? Who built the temple? And the answer's right there. Elias will come and restore all things. You know what the word restore means? To rebuild, like reconstruct. Reconstruct like a building, a house. So the answer's right there. Who's going to build the temple? Elijah. One of the two witnesses. Satan's going to be saying, because a lot of people are being taught that the Antichrist is going to build the temple. Well, the Antichrist is going to show up saying he's Jesus. He's going to say, the Antichrist built a holy temple. We got to kill him. So they killed the two witnesses. Okay? Does that make sense? Because the false religion tells us, no, the Antichrist and the false prophet are two different people. No, the Antichrist and the false prophet are one and the same, Satan. And when Satan comes, he's going to say, we got to kill the false prophet, and we got to kill the Antichrist who built the temple. So that's what's going to justify him to kill the two witnesses. And then when the two witnesses come, hermano Señor, God tells us, you're not going to know the day nor the hour when Jesus comes. But it tells us that when the two witnesses die in Jerusalem, that's when they're going to die. 3 days and a half after that. We don't know the day nor the hour, but 3 days after I'm going to read Revelation 11:9. And they of the people and the kindred and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. And shall not suffer the dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, making merry, shall send gifts, back in Christmas, right? Because these two prophets tormented them that dwell on the earth. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life from God answered unto them. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them. That's when Jesus shows up. So when does Jesus show up? After the two witnesses are slain. 3 days and a half after the two witnesses are slain. 3 days and a half. We don't know the day nor the hour. Nobody's supposed to know. But those things have to happen before Jesus comes. Could those things happen in 2018? Well, if they are, they're going to happen pretty fast. Because something like a World War III. Because I feel that the hurricanes were warning us. You see my videos on the hurricane and the fires. They happen in California, they happen around. I feel they're warning us. And the blood moons, the 4 blood moons 3 years and a half ago, that warned us. And I think they're warning us of a big war that's coming. Something big has to happen in order to set up. Something big. World War II happened, and what was set up? The United Nations. There has to be a bigger war than World War II to set up the New World Order. The New World Order has to be here. Right now there's wars and rumors of wars. Jesus doesn't come at wars and rumors of war. Jesus comes when there's so-called peace on this earth, when Satan is here. That's when Jesus comes. That's what he said. That's what he said. When peace and safety, when they shall cry peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as a woman in travail, and they shall not escape. So, yes, maybe we'll go to war. But there has to be a new world order first. Satan has to be here first, before Jesus comes. Hermano, Señor.